Go a little further this way. Do you need more bungees? So nice.
I often get asked, like, how long does it take to make these? There's the answer of, like, how many hours here at this site. I recognize how much went into all of the collecting, tying, but then there's also all of the prep before then, just figuring this out. So even though this is this piece, it took all the other ones to get here. Oh, Friends season 6, disc 4. I tend to often joke that the line between a sculptor and a hoarder is a very small line. So I'm basically knitting the biggest, most awkward sock as I put these sculptures together. My name is Leticia Bajuyo and I'm a sculptor. So that way it's like over, under, this direction and that direction. I am a little bit of a materials junkie. I look for voices inside each of the materials and find a way to be able to incorporate them into a new object that they become, but still retain something of their original identity. I don't want to hide what they are, I just want to sort of highlight it, and then I combine those objects together in kind of like a visual poem. I basically will take a stack of CDs and I'll drill 4 holes in it, and then those holes become the anchors and I stitch those together to make strands. This sculpture is specifically for the Art Now biannual exhibition at the Oklahoma Contemporary Art Center. And it's going to be a site-specific installation. So it's a large sculpture, but it can only be built in that site. It's built and designed based on a Hot Wheels track, like the loop that a Hot Wheels track would make, or a roller coaster. Kind of like weaving or knitting. So I'm basically making my thread with CDs, and then I get to like weave those together like a basket. But in this basket, each of the threads, again, are all of these memories, the memories that we have of the disc, where you recognize, oh, I watched that movie. And so I weave those together onto a substrate. These can't stand alone, they need some kind of structure. And so one of my favorite parts to do is to design the different armatures, the different skeletons. Sometimes it's an inner skeleton, sometimes it's an exoskeleton, sometimes it's a little bit of both, depending on what the specific site needs. And it varies based on everything from installation time frame, budget, size of their door, how long the show's going to be up. All of those things go into the recipe and the magic mix where I have all these logistics and then I get to design for that site.
So Art Now is our biennial exhibition we have here at Oklahoma Contemporary. Really a celebration of Oklahoma's creative ecosystem by featuring some of the best contemporary artists who are not only living but working in our state.
I've done many drawings and then plans, but it's not until you're actually here and you find out what the parts around you are. Come in this way, lift up. I like that because then I get to continue to explore and design it on site. So right now, this is what I'm envisioning. I would like it to lean if possible. So that way, when you're standing in front of it, it feels like you're in it. So after we talk about exact placement, the first thing that we'll need the lift for is to do those mounts. Yeah, go into the second one. If it does look like it, we might go to that one over there. Just like
when we were attaching the initial ratchet straps to pull the piece in whichever way we wanted it to, it took a few different tries of repositioning the I-beam clamps in a certain way, and it might be 6 inches over here, or it could have been 2 inches the other way. Leticia was very, very hands-on in working with her, collaborating with her. We never ran into an issue. There was always a way to solve it. We worked together and we bounced ideas off of one another. Very rewarding. It was a milestone in my life.
Bring this up a little higher though, because that means that these two right now are at the same height.
I grew up in southern Illinois, a little rural town, about 7,000 people. So my dad's from the Philippines. He moved to the US in 1968 during a time when there weren't enough doctors in the Midwest. My mom was a resident nurse. They had a little ER romance. They moved to Metropolis to raise a family. Being in this multi-generational, bilingual, multicultural household in this quiet landscape created some joys, but also some complications. And that has a lot to do, I think, with my work I do now and the way that I spend time thinking about each object and whether or not it's wanted or included. My goal, minimum of today, and heart of hearts, my goal would be to get all of the armature set and the ratchet straps changed out for cable. Once all of that's done, then I can start using the bins of all the tied together CDs and start filling in the gaps between. And so, but I think we should be able to get there. I don't want to jinx it.
In my particular curatorial practice, I was intentional about choosing a wide variety of materials and mediums and how those specific materials really pushed the boundary of their traditional ways that they've been shown. Leticia's specific installation is going to invite the audience to not only look at the form, this beautiful, massive architectural form that she's making, but also think about their relationship to the CDs and DVDs that she's strung together to create this piece.
I think at the heart of it, it's a dialogue about value allotment. What is it that we find to be important? We tend to be a pretty fickle society. We change our mind a lot. And so what is it that had been our favorite song yesterday, or maybe the most desirable approach to communication? And then it hasn't changed, but we have. But it's not its fault as a material that it's now just in this junkyard.
So you can find that there's a hole in it, the outside, yeah. So that's where we, yeah. Right there.
So my expertise in hanging theatrical scenery and lighting equipment, audio equipment over people's heads. So in here in the art space, I use that to hang different types of big, unique pieces from ceilings and stuff like that. Leticia's great. She's an amazing artist. I learned a lot working with her, and then just being a part of her experience and figuring it out was very, very fun and very cool to be a part of.
You liking that?
Coming to life.
Right? Getting closer.
I've just learned that I'll be able to stay late today, which is like magic words. I teach tomorrow at campus, so I want to make sure I have enough energy for my students, but if it can help set Thursday and Friday up to be even more just copacetic, that would be good. For that,
I've been a professor for 24 years, and that has been part of my making almost as long as the making as far as like as a professional artist. And so the two for me are really connected.
device not moving, and then, yeah, just a straight cut. Is that coming okay?
I find that my classes aren't classes where I'm necessarily teaching somebody how to make sculpture.
I can see it going in a couple of different directions,
But they're actually empowerment classes, and we happen to make sculpture along the way.
Pretty much everyone in this class has already taken beginning sculpture, so they've learned their way around most of the tools in the shop, but now what do you do with those in a more independent way? When we get started in the semester, one of the things I look for is what is it that their goals are for this term? And how can I help them individually, but as a group, that we still continue to work as a team.
So what's going on right now is I'm finishing up a few more of the bar structures that go between those basket tubes. And so I'm now up in the top right area. They're almost all secured. And so I'm finishing those up while Christian is up on that ladder. And what he's doing is he's changing out the ratchet straps and replace them with the aircraft cable. When I'm using the CD, I'm borrowing this, what they usually would do, and I'm giving them this other life, but I'm also keeping them out of their waste stream. And so I try to find materials and ideas that I can use that minimize my carbon footprint. That doesn't mean, again, I can save everything, but I think the more cognizant we are about the choices we make and what we use, it will help as we make further choices and be aware of our existence. A word that I avoid and I try not to use is I don't use the word talent. People often say, oh, you're so talented. And it's a way to say that I can't do that, you must be so talented, as if it's a compliment, but in many ways it discounts your individual ability to take the chance to do it yourself, that you can do it, but it takes time. I very much believe in the commitment of time, the commitment of work.
Nice. Yay! So I still have to do a few zip ties in that one section underneath right there, but other than that, this goes all the way back to when one of my friends taught me how to knit. I didn't know how to knit, and she was knitting one day. I was like, can you show me? It was years and years before I ever made one of these sculptures.
And so I just recognized I wouldn't be doing the work I'm doing now if it wasn't for so many people along the way. And so I very much believe in thanking your mentors. But then as soon as you can, think about that you might actually be on the other side of that table and you actually can lift up someone else. How is it that we can help bring people to the table?